Week 4 of the 2024 FRC season gave us 16 events to talk about, so I'm gonna talk about all of them, is what I would say if I could talk about all of them. Same shenanigans, different week for these technical difficulties. We only have about half the footage from the finals from all these regionals, and I can't wait for everything to drop Wednesday, because it is Wednesday, and I'm still waiting. Content creation is a game of you snooze, you lose, and they snossed, so we all lost. The chance for me to talk about Madtown, as well as the teams from all of these regionals, which is a lot of teams that I wanted to talk about. What I tell you, they dropped the rest of the footage. We have all the finals from week 4, so I get to talk about them. It's gonna be a bit of a rush job because it is Thursday and I'm supposed to be editing and not filming, but we're filming. We're starting with the Hallis Regional, with the 1 seed taking down the 3 seed. Both sides had beautiful autos to make this close early. And it stayed close with the Cyber Unicorns and Paradox. Got a lot of animal teams in this one, putting together faster cycles than the 3 seed, as well as not paying any mind to the Scorpions' defense. What I tell you about the animals? Sigma and X-Shark, told you about these animals? Couldn't find their rhythm as this one went out of hand very quickly. The 1 seed beat the 3 seed at the Marara Regional. The Istanbul Wildcats and AG Robotic were the 1 seed, and they actually went against each other at the Bosphorus Regional. The cameras were lovely. They didn't show a whole lot, but they were still very lovely. Flair and FM Will scored what they could, but the Wildcats are a different breed. It is worth noting that they aren't a true rookie team, as they are basically a rebranding of the Sneaky Snakes, but even the Sneaky Snakes didn't look this good in years past, as good as they were. The Istanbul Wildcats averaged 70 points a match in this regional, and that is just what they scored. The camera angles didn't show just how much scoring was done, but the numbers say that there was a whole lot of scoring done in this one. Orbit and the Bumblebees teamed up at the Israel District Championship, and what else are you gonna expect? Orbit was the top scoring robot from week 1, and I don't think they've dropped out of the top 10 this season. They are going to be one of the teams to look out for. They took down Makers Assemble and Steampunk, who won the district champs last year with Orbit. This makes Steampunk's record against Orbit for this season 0-7, and Makers Assemble record is now 0-8-1. The 1 seed came out of the gate with a huge auto, and Green Blitz missed the shot, which took the unluckiest bounce in the world. Be kind, rewind. Look at this. Look, I need this framed. What are the odds? The angles this needs to take, the timing, the fact that Makers Assemble has a gap there on the robot that can fit a note. All that to sideline the captain of the 3 seed and one of the highest scoring robots in the world to become a defense bot for the whole match. Orbit and the Bees kept on scoring, unfazed at any defense. Steampunk did what they could, and doing what they could caused a penalty in endgame. Red got all 3 robots up and a spotlight for the huge win. The 1 seed took down the 4 seed with some familiar faces in the mix at the Arizona East Regional. Homestead Robotics and the Cobra Commanders went up against Tech Support and Degrees of Freedom. And if you recall, Degrees of Freedom lost in the finals with the Cobra Commanders last week at Arizona Valley. Homestead and the Commanders were too quick with their cycles and amplified a lot, while the 4 seed didn't score in the amp at all. It became very lopsided very quickly as the 4 seed only scored 16 points in the last minute and a half in the match, and 16 points is what the 1 seed would score basically every time they amplified the speaker. The 1 seed didn't even need to do anything flashy in endgame, as the numbers speak for themselves. 179 versus 180 at the Orlando Regional. Tale as old as time. It seems like they always buddy up at the South Florida Regional, but then go head to head at the Orlando Regional. Although they were the 4th and 5th seeded teams, so it would have been unlikely that they'd end up on the same alliance for the playoffs. Ramtech chose Children of the Swamp and the BB Raiders chose Spam, and if you recall back to the South Florida Regional, the BB Raiders were finalists when they lost in the finals against Spam and Children of the Swamp. Both sides had wonderful autos, and Spam tried to send one into orbit. We are in Orlando. The 1 seed looked to close it out with a win for the sweep, and that looked to be the case after the BB Raiders had intake issues and Shark Attack got a note stuck inside their robot. So Spam was left as the lone scorer, but almost got upended by Buccaneer Robotics. Shark Attack and the BB Raiders played pretty effective defense, enough so that Swamp and Ramtech couldn't swerve away too easily. 5 points was the difference to force a tiebreaker. Both sides cleaned up all the notes. Has this ever happened before? Every single note is just gone. No problems this time, as Swamp and Spam worked those assists for their respective sides. It was anyone's game, with each side going shot for shot, amp for amp, blow for blow. Both sides only got 2 robots up, but Spam and Ramtech dropped trap notes in, and every point counts as the 1 seed gets it by 6. The 2 seed beat the 5 seed at the Iowa Regional because numbers don't mean anything. Wildcard Robotics, Crimson Robotics, and Cybears ran the table in the upper bracket, while Mars Wars, CIS, and Y Fighters fought their way out of the lower bracket after a chippy match 8 ended in a red card for a hit that took 525's bumper clean off. This ain't BattleBots, people. This one had a fair number of missed shots and broken notes, with Crimson having one fall apart in their intake and Y Fighters having one fall apart at the speaker. Crimson then had intake issues which put them on defense, which the 2 seed took advantage of. Both sides got 2 bots up, but the 2 seed got the lopsided win. We got the 1 seed against the 7 seed in Nampa, with the 7 seed looking for the upset. Eagle Strike and Peninsula Robotics got their autos going, as Team Taters and GRT did the same. All red bots focused on scoring, while Team Taters sent assist shots for their side, until they stalled out following a hit from Gearheads. That mismatch let Red back in it, and their offense gave them the lead headed into endgame. Eagle Strike got off the ground, and the human player got 2 notes up, but we need a 3rd match. Peninsula missed a couple of their auto shots in match 3, to give the 7 seed the 2-point edge. Team Taters had no issues this time and kept sending those assists into the crowd, but the ones that landed on the field, GRT knew what to do with. Gearheads had connection problems, which sat them out for this one, but the biggest factor, surprisingly, was endgame. All 3 blue bots got up, with Tater and GRT getting their trap notes, while Eagle Strike and Peninsula got up but couldn't stay up. The 7 seed ekes out the victory, but a win's a win and an upset's an upset. the Ratchet Rockers and Argos, who won their respective Central States regionals, won the St. Louis Regional over Hilltop Robotics and Breakaway, who also have regional wins on the season. The autonomous worked to almost perfection for both sides, but the 1 seed had misses that gave the other side the lead. The RoboHawks played defense that the Red Bots didn't seem to mind, while the Red Bots got their licks in as well. Seemed to be anyone's match until the Ratchet Rockers laid a hit on Breakaway so hard that their battery broke away, and that's a pretty important part of your robot. Really puts the battery in assault and battery, and the battery out of their robot. The 1 seed handled the mismatch and cruised away to the victory with no cards and no penalties for the hit. The 1 seed beat the 2 seed at the Buckeye Regional, but that doesn't tell the whole story. The 1 seed beat the 8 seed in a clean tie, broken by just 3 points from Autonomous. They then lost to the 2 seed in match 11 after Steel Unity didn't get both grabby grabbers on the chain, which would have come in handy. They then rematched the 8 seed after they ran the table in the lower bracket. Steel Unity did a tornado impression for around about a minute before getting E-stopped. The 1 seed somehow still barely wins it. They then go to finals match 1 and win that after 61-81 did a headstand in endgame. What? And I cannot stress this enough, the is going on in Ohio. Ranger Robotics was a bucket in Autonomous, but the short circuits and RoboCats scoring gave the 2 seed the early lead. Steel Unity played defense while the other blue bots did their part to slow the other side down. This one came down to amplification, with the 1 seed getting 3 bonuses while the 2 seed got none. Add Ranger Robotics and the flying circuits getting trap notes in, and that's enough to get it done. We got the 1 seed over the 3 seed at New York Tech Valley. All these notes got gobbled up in auto, which gave Red the lead. The Robo Tigers played assist as the Grease Gladiators loaded the amp, and Dynamics played defense. Or is it Dynamiques? They are a French team. The Igniters, Rohawks, and Sobots all scored to catch up, and then pulled away with it down the stretch. We need a third match. Red got 7 notes in auto, while Blue got just 2. And 30 points is a lot of ground to make up for. The Rohawks missed a shot which got wedged on the speaker. Sobots missed a shot to free that note, and then Rohawks put another note in the exact same spot. And those are points that Blue could have used in this one. The 1 seed kept churning points out as this one just went wire to wire. Both sides got 2 bots up, and the Robo Tigers got the trap note, which was really just the cherry on top for them in this one. The 1 seed beat the 6 seed at the Long Island Regional. Scioset, Supersonics, and Pobots worked the scoring for Red, while Mechanical Bulls and Floyd Robotics did the same for Blue. If you recognized Pobots and Floyd Robotics, that's because the Pobots beat Floyd Robotics in the finals at the Hudson Valley Regional. This puts Floyd's record against the Pobots at 1-5 for the season, and all of those matches came in the playoffs. Both sides worked a defensive bot, which were both effective, but the 1 seed had better uses of their amplifications. Blue got all their robots off the ground, while Red only managed 1, but the speaker points decided this one. The 2 seed beat the 1 seed at the Colorado Regional, with Angel Botics getting their second regional win of the year, having won Utah back in week 1. Finals match 1 was really close, decided by only 8 points. Finals match 2, not so much. The Raiders had intake issues, which left the Steel Mustangs and Highlanders on scoring duty, while all 3 Blue Bots scored. There was just no way to slow Blue down or keep up with their cycle times. Highlanders almost got that trap note, but this one was just well out of reach before that point. The 1 seed beat the 2 seed at the Lagona Regional, with the Bot Busters finally getting a regional win on the year. I do not know why this one was filmed at 12 frames a second, but I'm vibing with it. I'm also vibing with Serbotics and Bot Busters combining for 7 auto shots. They put together cycles as Abtomat played defense. Type C had connection issues, but Bot Busters and Serbotics were so quick with it that honestly they would have gotten this done even if Blue had 4 robots on the field. Raoult and Desert Eagle couldn't keep up, as the 1 seed had literally just about as good a game you can have offensively. They went 14 of 16 at the speaker with 5 amplifications for the event high in the closeout. We got the 1 seed taking down the 6 seed at the San Diego Regional, as the Hawaiian Kids get their second regional win of the season, and if it keeps going this way, probably the second of 4. Their partner, the Millennium Falcons, also nabbed their second regional, having won Port in week 1. They took down the 6 seed led by the Greybots and the Crusaders, who won Canadian Pacific with the Hawaiian Kids. The 1 seed had insane autos, combining for like a bajillion shots, and we got a nice tug-of-war moment as well. The Wild Raccoons got their Wallbot messing with scoring, going full-on Matumbo. Hawaiian Kids and the Millennium Falcons were just so quick with it, and the 6 seed just couldn't keep up. The Hawaiian Kids got the climb and the trap note, as well as the commanding win. We're ending things at the Central Valley Regional with the 1 seed taking down the 3 seed. Madtown and Bread did what Madtown and Bread do. They combined for 7 auto notes, with Unirex being quicker on the draw for center notes. Madtown worked on assists while Bay Robotics played defense at the blue loading zone. All 3 blue bots worked on scoring while trying to find any ways to slow Red down, to which I say, good luck. These are 2 of the fastest bots we've seen. Bread is one of the highest scoring bots on the year, and Madtown is a reigning champion. Madtown slipped off the chain in endgame, so they didn't get the trap note, but all those speaker points got this done easily. Thank you for watching. I know I couldn't get to all of them. Unless I did, I'm still holding out hope that they all drop Thursday and then I can just cram everything together. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment about what you want me to talk about for the bits tomorrow. I will see you then. And as always, gracious in victory, professional in defeat. Amen.
Blue Alliance extends their lead, now 69-62. 30 seconds remaining. And 61-81 is now upended